Hey guys, my name is Nicolette Mashile. I am also known as the Financial Bunny. Welcome to the Financial Bunny TV. Today I want to talk about something that I don't think we talk enough about. So anyway, in the last video, I was speaking about 12 things that you should do to make you or become better with your money in 2023. What do I call? A viewer? Oh, that sounds so terrible. Somebody from the community commented, I think it's Dream Chaser 1364. I can't remember. I don't understand those numbers. We need to talk about that handle, Miss a Dream Chaser or Mr. Dream Chaser. Anyway, and I remember commenting and saying, you know what? I need to do a video about things that we still do despite knowing so much. I mean, of all the finance books I've read, all the people that I listen to who speak on personal finance, all of the podcasts I have listened to, despite being around financial experts on a daily basis, there are still mistakes that even today I'm still making. This is like writing What's Your Move 2.0 because I have stories galore. But I'm going to give you my top 5 mistakes that I still make despite all of the knowledge that I've got. And this actually reminds me, sorry. Before I get into all of that, do remember that none of my videos constitute as financial advice. If you are looking for financial advice, please speak to somebody that is certified and registered with the FSCA. So, let me tell you, I hate motivational speakers. I hate motivation. I don't think I'll ever stop hating motivation. I think if you've ever been on my channel or if you've been on my channel for the longest time, you know I don't like motivation because motivation does not think. Motivational quotes do not have sense or logic. Let me give you one that is absolutely one of my favorite. And I'm sure I've also said it at some point in my life because, I want Nicolette and Jay. You saw. If you learn more, you earn more. What? What do you mean? So if I decide today to listen to a podcast about 12 things that rich people do that will make you wealthier in 2023, am I going to become wealthier in 2023? Because let me tell you something. If I don't become wealthier in 2023, I am calling a hoax on that content creator. Because surely if you learn more, you earn more. So if I read a book, by some sort of osmosis, I'm going to become rich. No, guys. What it should be saying is, if you learn more and you do something about it, then maybe you will earn more. Okay? Is that thing about high return, high risk, high return? Nah, they lied. It's high risk and potentially high return. Because let's be fair, things are going to happen in between. But one of the biggest things that happens is what we call inaction. Too many of us don't take enough action, but too many of us do take action and we still take the wrong action. And this is why we say personal finance is 80% what you know, what you do immediately, and what you don't do, and 20% all of the knowledge that you are sitting with. So let's go down my list of 5 things that are still keeping me from my private jet. Okay? Number 1, speaking to a financial advisor. Guys, I am surrounded by financial advisors. I'm surrounded. I contact them. Just last night, Adele Barnard was texting me at like midnight. I have them. I have the privilege and the luxury of having some of the best financial advisors in the country. But do you think I sit down with them and say, let's look at my finances? I just have not done it, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why I have not done it. And every year I complain about, I don't have a life insurance. I don't have income protection. I don't have disability cover. I have all of these things at my fingertips. I'm just not getting to it. I don't know. Basically, I don't have a financial plan. Because somehow we also think that if we do like things in isolation, like little islands, or I have an emergency fund, or I have some savings, I have some investments, I have some property, I have money in my bank account, that is financial planning. That is not financial planning. In actual fact, my biggest thing was always, my properties are going to be my retirement plan. What if the property market bungles up just before I go to retirement and now I've got an unlucky birthday? Guys, no, this is the year to change. This is the year to become better. The next one, withdrawing cash. Guys, I don't know. I'm not a drug dealer. I don't need cash. I have loaded my card on my wallet, on my phone. I have loaded it on my other phone, which is a Google phone. I have all sorts of different ways to be able to pay. But somehow, it feels better paying with cash. And I remember where this came from. I literally learned this behavior of having cash in my hand all the time. My dad used to do this thing where every single time he sees an ATM, he has to withdraw wads of cash. And I keep doing it. And I know, and I can tell you now, the moment you withdraw cash, it's over. You feel generous. You are giving out money to parking guards. You're giving out money you're tipping everybody. You're tipping the petrol attendant. And there's nothing wrong with tipping. But the problem is, how much are you tipping and how often are you tipping? Because you can't tip all of the petrol attendants at the petrol station. But that's what I do. I'm there. I'll put in a cold drink. I'll put in a hey, Nicolette Sol Kesna's daughter. No ways. And the thing is, you can't trace money that you've withdrawn. It doesn't even show it will show on, for instance, your 227 app as withdrawn cash. It may show on your credit card statement, your bank statement, or the thing that they show you when they tell you how much money you spend in what areas of your life at your bank. But it will never tell you what you did with that money. And often many of us can never remember what we have done with money that we have withdrawn. If you're withdrawing money to use the envelope system, by all means, go ahead. But if you're like me, stop it. I need to remind myself to stop it. And I hope that you guys can remind me to stop it. The third thing that I do is impulse buying. Because somehow I've decided that I'm above my budget, So I walk into a shop and I'm like, oh, I like that. I'm going to buy that. Is there enough money in my bank account? Yes. But I forget that some of that money is already allocated to certain things in my life. So what am I doing? When Zani? Yo, guys, I am bad. I am an impulse buyer. I'm impulsive. And I realized something. I'm impulsive in everything. Like, I will send texts impulsively. And then I'll be like, ooh, what did I say? And sometimes I don't even remember what I said in the text. I have to go back and read it. Because I'm just like, I am impulsive in every aspect of my life. And I'm impulsive when it comes to my spending. And I don't know if it's also, you see, I was very, very, and I won't call it luck because I think it's actually bad luck. Early on in my working career, I found myself working in a company where I was handling a lot of money. Some of it was my money, some of it was not my money. And I think that's also problematic, is that somehow I have got a very weird gaze when it comes to money and amounts of money. I was actually telling somebody the other day, I'm like, I can spend money and once it's out of my bank account, I'm banayo. But the thing is, it's problematic because ultimately, and I can make a decision to spend now. Like me, it doesn't take me five. I don't do that thing of take a breather or take 30 days to decide or decide overnight. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should put a 24-hour limit or 24-hour spending sanction on myself for everything in my life. So before I buy it, I must wait 24 hours and then decide to actually buy the thing. Maybe that's a good thing. Speaking about money just going out of my bank account, there are certain things I know. But there are certain things that I do that are weird. So for instance, I know how a credit card works. I know how a credit card is charged. They do what is called average daily balance. They work that out. And then they give you an installment every single month based on the interest rate that they are charging you, APR, right? Now, I knew this. So I'm just using this as an example on my credit card that I did. So I left my card with someone. And it's someone new, and it's not that I don't trust them, but I was also worried by the fact that maybe they may leave the card also out in the open the way I had left it in their car. Now, if the person has your credit card, they've got the numbers in front, they've got the expiry date, and they've got that secret code or whatever it's called. That means they can do all sorts of shopping online. Some of the sites don't need an OTP. They don't need somebody to approve the transaction if they've got those three things. So Clever here thought it would be a good idea to move the entire balance of my credit card to my check card. And now this was over December. But what I forgot or pretended like I didn't realize is this little thing called average daily balance. So now, when Jan hits, almost 43,000 Rand was taken from my bank account as a repayment on my credit card. I did put the money back, by the way, onto the credit card. But you see, that's not how a credit card works. The credit card company calculates how many days did you have a certain balance. Then they calculate how much you owe them based on the interest rate that they've offered you. Now, I know this. But still somehow, it was a better idea for me to do what I did. The next one that I know is when you put money into a 32-day account. You must then, when you want to withdraw, you put in a notice. And it will take 32 days for your money to be put into your account. But somehow, because of my impulsive buying, I then am short on my monthly budget. Then I'm like, oh, but I have money in my 32-day account. But the things cannot wait for 32 days. So I go back to my 32-day account and I want to withdraw that money, but I want it immediately. But immediately doesn't exist without pain. In Afrikaans, there's a saying that goes, as jy dom is, moet jy voel. En ek voel altyd. Because I have to pay a fine every single time I have to withdraw from my 32-day account. Ask me why I'm not on a 7-day call notice. Ask me why I don't put money into a proper emergency account after all of the emergency account videos I have done. I wrote a whole chapter in What's Your Move called The Best Sleeping Pill on the Market is Having an Emergency Account. But somehow, andiyazi naleyo. Number 5 of the things that I do, despite all the knowledge I have, asset allocation. What is asset allocation? Asset allocation says where and how much of your investable money, if that's a word, are you investing? So where are you putting, if you have 1,000 Rand, how much of that 1,000 Rand is put into different types of assets so that you diversify how you invest? So that if one part of the market goes to the dogs, you are still essentially covered by your other asset classes. But somehow, I am just always heavily invested in property. I mean, I have other accounts, other investment vehicles. I have stock, I have mutual funds, I have ETFs, but it always seems like it's a small portion of my money that's available for investing that goes into those things. And huge, every day, I'm sitting on property 24. I'm looking for land, I'm looking for warehouses, I'm looking for investment apartments. I am building, so I'm building cash. I'm building with my own money. I'm investing in a property stokvel. I am overly invested in property, but somehow, le property al pumi. And mind you, I did an exercise of how much my rental properties actually give me, the true amount of money that I can bank every single month. My YouTube account pays me more. My one YouTube account pays me more than what I get from 3 of my properties in terms of real money. After the rent has been paid and you've taken out money for the levies, the money for the city of Johannesburg, money for electricity, tax amounts, insurance amounts, what you're really left with. I mean, one property, rent of 9,000, but the real amount that I can bank is probably less than 4,000. I know all of this. And despite the fact that I know all of this, I'm still a little property, that word. So I'm hoping that this year I do better. And I'm hoping that from my video, you are inspired to identify those areas in your life where you do have knowledge, but you continue to make the mistake, and try to identify why. Why do you make those mistakes? I'm still working through some of those. But a large number of the mistakes that I make are deeply rooted in this idea that I know enough. But knowing enough without making the right behavioral changes is not going to get you where you think it's going to get you. Don't do it, but babes. Don't be like this girl. But I'll see you guys on the next video. I want to talk a little bit about the reason why you keep missing payments. It's because you don't budget. Let's talk about it on the next video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Mwah, mwah, mwah.